In order to properly understand the current stigma in our society, modern society and culture against tattoos, you have to understand where tattooing has been and where it has come from, right? There's mummies floating around this planet that got, date back 50,000 years that got tats on them, My name is Matthew Tillman. My shop is the Holy Scythe Tattoo, and we opened about 2 years ago. I've been tattooing for about 16. I was apprenticed by a guy named Pat Jones, and he was apprenticed by a guy named Phil Sims, who was one of the progenitors of tattooing in the Bay Area at large. The rest is history. I had been making art my whole life. Art was kind of like my coping mechanism for a traumatic upbringing. It was my way to escape and do something that I was in control of. The part of tattooing that is the most attractive to me personally is being able to give a person a tool to reframe their experience from that point on. Every time I go to the gas station, every time I go to the grocery store, go to pick up my kids at school, it's constant. It's constant. You feel people's gazes, but I didn't have any, silly expectations about how the world was going to treat me after doing that. Again, it wasn't about the world, it was about me. But just because you're heavily tattooed doesn't mean anything about you, other than that you value ritual sacrifice. The original purposes of tattooing in all indigenous societies globally was like medicinal, and it was ritual, right? It was magic. 50 plus tats on this mummy Utsi that they dug out of a glacier. He had like little X's and dashes on his knees and his elbows, and he had like a big lion over his shoulder, all this crazy shit. They x-rayed him, they found out he had arthritis in those knees under those marks and in his elbows, right? So, just like a placebo, you put a magic mark on the thing and that's gonna make the pain go away. Or you put the tiger on your shoulder so that it doesn't wanna attack you and eat your ass. That is the bulk of human history with tattoos, is ritual, magic, symbolism that was, giving people tools and perspectives to engage in the reality that they were in, right? The stigma's already changing, it's already happening. It's a natural course of cultural evolution. We've gone through this puritanical repression of these magics. By natural occurrence, people are finding those magics again for themselves and finding the value of suffering with intent. Tattooing is just a piece of that. Suffering with intention is as old a thing as there is. You want to be empowered, you want to evolve, you want to move on. This is a way to achieve it. You go in, I want the treasure, go into the cave, you fight the dragon, it's dark and it's hard, and then you get through it. And then the things that you learn from that ritual suffering, you're able to bring out back into the world. I have a client, he was a regular guy, regular job, regular life. Nothing special. He was suffering by that, right? He was having a hard time wishing that he had more, like he needed a mountain to climb. So he came in, he had done some research on some symbols. He decided that he wanted to get a full sleeve of koi fish. The koi fish has to fight its way up the stream, right? It has to overcome this obstacle. The tattoo itself, it was an obstacle to overcome, right? It was months and months and months of repetitious sessions, which is the struggle itself. But by being able to get up every day and see this symbol of overcoming obstacles, it motivated him to transcend these barriers in his life, using that piece of magic, that sigil, for focus and intention. And then he came back and he decided, I'm trying to level up. And so he gets the dragon, which is like the next part of the story of the koi. The koi swims up the stream, jumps out of the top of the waterfall, transforms into a dragon. And the dragon represents a master of its domain, a master of its reality, one who can do as it chooses. So he gets that tattoo and then he elevates his life to a whole nother level. And this guy is now just on a rocket ship, just king shit, because he utilized this magic in the right way. I think that tattoo should be considered a true art form because it's one of the things that we've been doing for longer than we've been doing anything else. The human interaction part of it will never go away. And by things being modernized, by them being more accessible, it's gonna increase the demand for the practitioners, you know, because people need the relationship as much as they need the imagery, as much as it has to be a technically proficient tattoo, as much as it has to be like an artistically realized tattoo, as much as it has to be a spiritually insightful tattoo, you need that connection. You need to have a person that you can trust to share the ritual with. And I don't think that'll ever go anywhere. Got a nice solid take out of that one.
Yeah. Great shot, by the way.